It was a dark and stormy night. I know. How do you make caretaking creepy and spooky? As if it wasn't spooky enough, I know, right? So I figured we would just begin on the spookier side of things. There is, a dark shadow that hangs over North Bergen, and I think it centers over one particular apartment building, probably. So, starting off a little creepy, a little crawly. I was going to start off with my spooky story about the unholy birth of a certain individual in 1970 in New Jersey. It was a very rough year for many people, actually. Janis Joplin died, I think Jimi Hendrix died, the Beatles broke up, the Apollo 13 mission, and of course Cynthia was born. So, it was a very big year in many ways. Many ways. So many stars came and left. So, at any rate, let me turn this up a little so we can see each other, and I'll turn down the dark and stormy night. So, I hope everyone is well, everyone's safe. I'm Steve, Mark's working late tonight, and this is Smokey, Steve, and Mark. Either welcome or welcome back, and happy Thursday. We're getting there. The week's moving on. Thank God. It's been a long week. I've actually been rather busy with work, which is odd, considering I don't leave the house to work but 2 times a week. But so it goes, I guess. So we are going to sort of pick up where we left off. These are getting more and more absurd. With our series on caretaking, for anyone who's not familiar with the series, I've been a fan, I guess fan's the word, it's the word she'd use, of the creator Cynthia Beaumont for about, I would say years, probably about 4 years. We were kind of, YouTube frenzies, I guess, and fell out of touch over a disagreement, and a while after that, her husband, Tommy Beaumont, the late Thomas Beaumont, became ill. He had cancer, got sick, treatment went how it went, and he passed away. So now she's been doing the channel all on her own, and it's taken a few different turns along the way. She's trying all different kinds of content, I think, to see what'll stick, what works, what doesn't, and that's, creators do that, especially if it's like, you are the channel, or it's a lifestyle channel, or it's a person channel, So she's trying Richard Simmons, trying on socks, mukbangs, begging, showing off hauls, which kind of is weird, because when you're broke in one video and then showing off all the shit you bought in the next one, it's, somehow that, I don't know. So she's trying a lot of different stuff along the way. And one of the things that came up as we'll say a controversy, was the idea of Cynthia being stalked. Because there was a couple notes, I guess, that were left near her property shortly after, Black Lives Matter had become a large social issue in America and then, globally. And Cynthia had some views on that, and she felt like she wasn't allowed to have her opinion, as though racial superiority is an opinion. And a note was left for her that said Cynthia Beaumont is a racist. I guess it was left on the outside of her building. So she got a copy of it and held on to it, lied about the police coming to take prints off of it and all that stuff. So the best, in her come clean video, the first thing she did was admit that she didn't tell the truth. Great way to build trust. So that was happening. And then there was another envelope, letter, something glued to a bench, I guess, outside of her building. And she had gotten that as well, and wanted to pursue charges with it, and believed she was being stalked. So the question at the beginning was Cynthia stalking herself for attention? Was something actually happening she should be very concerned about? Who's doing it? Is it a hater? Is it somebody who's like an obsessed fan? And Cynthia, I'm sure, was concerned. But on some level, I think, was loving it, because famous people get stalkers. No, people who are... It's not good to have a stalker. There's nothing flattering about having a stalker. Ask anybody who's been stalked. It's not cool. Now, the exaggerated part is that she's not technically being stalked here. And we'll get to that in a little bit. But at any rate, that's kind of the buildup that had been going on. Then, all of that crap about who she thinks is stalking her, the evidence she had presented, The evidence that was put out there by the person who identified themselves, Jimmy, who had said, yeah, I did it, and what? Do something. So she's going out of her way to try to have consequences for this guy legally, but he doesn't seem like if he gets them, he even cares. So I think she thinks, I'm gonna get him, and he's kind of like... So I guess she would be satisfied if something were to happen, but... So then she gets off track, and it's kind of like last week. She went through like 1,000 videos of absolute crap that had nothing to do with anything. Where we had left off. She was a very busy woman, very prolific creator, as we all know. She was going to take time off, remember. She was going to post like once a week, once every 2 weeks. We weren't going to get a lot of videos. That was supposed to be the way it was going to go. So there was like a cat here, a cat with a lollipop there. It's not cute, you know, you want to kill your cat to spite a hater? Fine, give him candy. You're the one who's going to hurt your cat, not me. The gaming stream we did last, and then fan mail. And the programming announcement. That was what we were supposed to be getting going into this. And then it was a lotto ticket, and then a bunch of clickbait titles. Laundry time, let's get it all out. Nothing came out. There was no anything. It was just blah, blah, blah. She streamed Resident Evil, which I don't know who watched. Greek yogurt bar espresso. These yogurt bars are coming up kind of a lot. But nobody seemed to care, because only like 300 people watched. I can't blame them. I mean, if you're just going to have a video talking about how good a yogurt bar is, that's not super interesting to a lot of people. All new Dollar Tree Christmas decor. Oh man, 162 views? That's got to be an error. That's low even for Cynthia. That can't be right. Amazon wishes do cone true. Bless her heart. Amazon wishes do come true. Let's see. So is she buying it for herself, or is it that one particular... Because it seems at this point she's got one sugar mama. And people in the know who she is. I don't need to call out one of her people by name. But there's one particular person who is impenetrably... You can call it generous, you can call it gullible, you can call it a sucker, you can call it an angel. It depends on your perspective why this person is choosing to give so much to someone who at one point maybe could have used the help, but who at this point is blowing through money. More than AdSense, because, you know, unless her rent is about $75 a month, there's no way she could be blowing through the rest of this money on all this stuff for herself. You know, not saying that people who have moderate or high incomes, like, just because I have a friend who's rich doesn't mean I wouldn't buy them a gift. I'm not saying that. Just because Cynthia may have some means right now doesn't mean if it's her birthday nobody should send her anything. Well, I wouldn't send her anything, but that a friend, somebody couldn't send her something just because she can pay for her own means. But anybody at this point who is sending her a gift or food or something because they think that she's poor, they're suckers. They've been had, pretty much, because that's not the position she's in at all. Have you heard mentioning begging for the rent? Have you heard this? Have you heard that? And good for her. She is a single woman by herself with no marketable skills and no prospects. She's gonna need handouts for the rest of her life. So she might as well work them. And Cynthia's one of those people who will always land on her feet. Doesn't it just dig at you? She will always land on her feet and be fine. She's never gonna get hers. You know, it's never gonna come full circle and you're gonna see, you know, Cynthia's gonna have karma or whatever, hard time. She will always be fine. She will always be fine. You know? So, shopping, Dollar Tree, Home Goods, and lunch at Lunch Outbacks. These titles are murderous. I usually, like I said, read the videos rather than watch them. Like, I'll throw the subtitles on, and they have a hard time translating Cynthia too, because I can't. But it was kind of a tease. Like, got 1,000 views, but it was a 3-minute video basically just saying, hey, we're going to these 3 places. Whoopee. You know. And then instead of tea, you know, they're having cappuccino, so like spilling the tea kind of stuff. Have a hostess twinkle cappuccino with me. She's trolling. Either way, it's sad. Fan mail / stuff I buy from Amazon. She's got to have a barrettes there. I mean, anymore, she's going to have to start putting them on. She's going to have to find more hair somewhere else because she's running out, too. And I think, like the rest of us in quarantine, she must have cut her own hair. I'm not saying her hair looks bad because I haven't seen it down in a while, but her hair's a lot shorter. And God love her, it looks thinner than it used to be, too. Stress, maybe pulling too much shit out, she's going to have split ends for life with all those barrettes. You know, she just yanks them out. And that hair is bleached to death and damaged. That's why it's soft as butter. Hair gets the last stage before falling out is soft as butter with the hair. So, but she's been bleaching it for years. She knows the consequences. And obviously she doesn't care. So, she's got thick hair. People with widow's peaks, I've found, don't lose their hair much. Clearly, I don't have a widow's peak. I never did. My hairline starts back here at this point. So, let's try Russin chocolate. Russin with an I. I think it was supposed to be Russian. More food. A September lip monthly unboxing. So this was from last month. So again, all this stock stuff that's coming up. She's got a few Halloween-y things projected in the background. Now this is kind of cute. And again, another one. Let's talk about it. Talk about what? There's nothing. It's more. She voted. Great. I'm glad for her. She probably voted for herself as a write-in. Tea time with Snowball's Cappuccino. Sponsor me, sponsor me. Anybody, anywhere. Send free stuff. Send free Snickers. Write every company in the world and tell them you love their product. Tell them that you want it for you and the kids. Now, I know that's slick stuff. Cynthia's good with the sleight of hand. You know, she'll leave a comment on a contest saying it would be great for me and the boys. And then later say, everyone knows when I say the boys, I mean the kids. You know, Chantal was particularly good at that kind of gaslighting, too. She'll say, I'm not feeling well and I'm going for a COVID test. And then when it comes back negative, she'll say, I never said I thought I had COVID. I just said I was going for a test. And no, she never did. But when you say, I don't feel well, I'm going for a COVID test, it makes it seem like you think you might have COVID. You know, Chantal's particularly good at it, too. And Cynthia, while she may not be book smart, has skills. Does have some skills in that way. Scratching a ticket. I mean, she had a lot of low view videos, but I was expecting none because she was going to go away for a while and do something else. Wasn't she? She was going to go, I don't know, live her life. Okay, now these back-to-back ones I thought were going to make my life. Living room makeover / tiny apartment tour. And Dollar Tree window insulation treatment. How to, kinda. She got that right. How to, kinda. So, Cynthia doesn't show her home a lot. She never did. I remember specifically when she lived with Tommy in the studio apartment up on the upper floor. That was a tiny apartment. They showed almost none of it. Beyond being a bit of a hoarder, which she can... This is not my opinion that she is a hoarder. There is a hoard of stuff. There's less now, it looks like. Or either that or she's just shoving it to one corner and the other and saying, I cleaned this corner. And then shoving all the shit to another corner and saying, I cleaned that corner. And then shoving all that shit. I don't know who, you know, who's she trying to impress. But she has a very small apartment, and when she was living with Tommy, they had an even smaller apartment. And it is very difficult to keep things organized in a small apartment. Mark and I have a small apartment. It's constantly, especially with having stuff for videos. Mark likes to craft. I have no hobbies. There's no room for them. I don't have any hobbies, really. I don't have any that take up space. So it's a challenge to find space to put things. There's storage behind here. There's shelves behind here. I had to build extra shelves in the bedroom. So, you know, you kind of make do. I know she's disabled. She could pay Enrico. Enrico used to come by for money. If he won't even come by now for money, what the hell did you say to him? So, so she's doing that for herself. There's a couple extra rooms. And she's hanging blinds and she's on a step stool. And you'd think she was, like, putting up drywall for the amount that she's doing. The Dollar Tree window insulation treatment. Now, normally, I try not to watch other reactors who are reacting to videos of Cynthia before Thursday. It's my treat Thursday night to watch the reactions that people did to Cynthia during the week. Because while I usually agree with them, and there's a lot that I don't disagree with, I don't want to, like, step on toes. Like, if they have a good observation that I hadn't thought of, I don't want to be like, hey, I thought of that, because I didn't. I heard it from them. But I was listening to one of the other popular commentators, reactors, reviewers, and they had like a little bit of a background, I think, like in interior design, and they were having a field day. I mean, it was like a Laurel, like Benny Hill, like na 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 na. If you play it at 1.5 speed, make sure there's a bathroom close by. It was just a mess, and that the placement of that crucifix. Oh, I have an empty wall and I'm filming. Let's put up a crucifix. Do we have a crucifix? When I grew up, there was a crucifix in every room in the house. And because we were Catholic, there was palm from last Palm Sunday curled around every single one. And the fun was we would burn the palm the following year on Palm Sunday. That was the treat. We would burn stuff in the sink. That was the fun of it. So I get having a crucifix in the house. It was just like, oh, there's a bare wall. I'll hang this up. It was a gift from Penny. And people argue whether or not Penny is even alive. But not alive. God, no, she's not dead. But I mean, like, if she exists, if it's not Cynthia just sending herself more stuff. So, it was a riot. Please go check it out. She gets it done. Now, I started to. I brought this up last week, a couple weeks ago. Forgive the disjointment, but it's just, I'm having a day, and we want a video, and I want to talk to you, and this is what we're talking about. So, thank you for following my circles of thought here. Just a little. Okay. So, what I started to pull back to in my thinking was, I saw in this video she had Christmas wrapping paper on the windows. Okay. And she said for privacy because the blinds didn't come all the way down. Okay. I've studied I don't have a degree in anything related to mental health. I have my lived experience. I have the folks I work with, but I do not work with them in a capacity where I diagnose, prescribe medicine, do anything in that sort of way. However, I was happy. I was concerned at first that she was covering the windows, because I thought, oh god, covering the windows for people with paranoia tends to get a little, I was relieved to see it didn't go all the way to the top, which, you know, relieved me. And that doesn't mean people with blackout curtains are paranoid or have mental health issues, but, you know, when you add that with her to the composite of everything else that's going on with her, it kind of paints a portrait, like when you think, you know, people that have nothing to do with you are out to get you, or that there's vast conspiracies out against you, and then you're covering your windows. Like, when you put all of that together, you start to tread into the land of, am I commenting on a person who's severely mentally ill, and this is something that, like, isn't funny anymore? But she seems to think she's fine. So, if she doesn't identify herself as a person with any problems, then I don't feel like I should, I don't know, tiptoe around her in that way. You know, she doesn't seem to have any insight that anything she's doing is strange. This is just how she chooses to live her life. So, I feel free to be along for the ride, watch it at 1.5 speed, and chuckle. This is one of 1,000 things she's going to have to just learn how to do on her own, if she's going to live as an adult on her own, without help. The fact that she is without any help is some of her own doing, because she has, the only relationship she has right now with anybody are out of need and not convenience, but, like, you know, she goes grocery shopping, Betty drives her. I don't know where Enrico is, because she could usually throw him like a 10 or a 20 and he'd come over and help. He did it with Mary, he did it with Tommy, but now I don't know where he is. So, I don't know, like I say, what the hell did you say to him that he's gone now? You weren't trying to pick him up or anything, were you? Because he's a nice-looking man. He's a little odd, too. He's like, where did these women, like, Enrico and Pete's should, like, get together and go bowling. Like, they're just such odd, strange, odd men. So, more fan mail in a Walmart haul. And then fan mail part 2, fan mail part 3. Obscene. Totally obscene. You know, fortunate for Cynthia to be on the receiving end of such generosity. But odd. Sigma liquid lipstick in Venom. How apropos. An Instacart haul. Isn't that $178 Instacart haul? Well, now if we put that together with the lipstick box and the other stuff, and I will repeat. Well, here's the thing. This is kind of textbook Cynthia, too. When things are bad, she'll tell you all over creation things are bad. Like when Tommy was sick, right afterwards. We were broke. No one helped us. No one gave us anything. No one did anything for us. No rides, no money, no nothing. Somebody commented, didn't we gather money and give you like $500 for this or that? Then she remembers it happened. And then she also diminishes it, saying it wasn't really that much. So, if like, it's the same thing kind of with the Instacart hauls. It's like, she'll tell you all about when she's broke and can't afford food and there's no this in the house and no bologna and I can't feed the cats and they're shitting on paper bags and all this sort of stuff. She'll tell you all about her personal finances when there's none. But then when things are okay, she doesn't mention things are okay. She'll tell you all about how unstable her life is and complain about how everything is wrong. But then when everything's going well, she doesn't, like, go back and say, thanks, guys, for all your help. I'm in such a better spot right now. Things are going so well. Your support when things were hard was so great. It's nothing like that. It's like, keep it coming. Keep it coming. This is, you know. So, I don't know. And, I don't know. And then we go into the last portion here, which was, well, the bigger one was tea time. They're, T-H-E-R-E, coming to get you soon. Tea time, 3 weeks tomorrow, court papers any day. So this is in relation to what's going on with Jimmy and the alleged, harassment is what it's going to be, against Cynthia. So she looks like... He looks like a beat-up prostitute. I'm sorry, I can't. I heard that from, this is a shout-out to Miss Gloria, because I had heard her calling somebody that. But, actually, she looks, not well. I think you can trim lashes. I don't think that's a bad thing. I think people do it. Wow. So, at any rate, appearances aside, born this way, we can all look how we want. Let me shut myself up. Shut myself down right there. Okay? All right. So paperwork apparently is supposed to be going out. They probably told her 3 weeks to shut her the fuck up. That paperwork would be going to Jimmy, I guess, relating to charges that were being filed. Okay. It doesn't sound like it was stalking, because it didn't meet the criteria for it. So, I wonder if she's going to go back and change all the titles, because, saying someone did a crime they're not actually accused of, that's kind of not cool. I don't know if it violates anything, but it makes you sound like an idiot when you say that. That's like saying someone robbed my house when actually all they did was step on your lawn, If it's not the truth and a lie are not sort of the same thing, So I guess we will see where that goes. I suspect, though I don't know, that he won't be put in cuffs and taken to jail for 5 years. The 5-year sentence I thought was for stalking. Harassment is, at least in Pennsylvania, I think it's a misdemeanor. It might be 30 days in jail and a fine that's under like $1,000 and if the person has no criminal record, they might get like a reduced sentence, like community service and anger management or something like that. Like, I'm not really sure how that goes. And I'm not sure what things look like in New Jersey either. Like, New Jersey could have different laws. So, I'm not sure how that's going to play out. But I don't think it's going to be like this big, grandiose production. And again, what I had thought earlier, the person who charges are being filed against doesn't seem like they're, denying they did anything, worried, I don't know. So, it doesn't feel like as much of a threat, I guess. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Whatever helps her sleep at night. This is her whole life, is YouTube. She doesn't have life outside of YouTube. She has feral cats and snooping out the windows. So, this gives her something to do. This gives her something to play with, gives her a project. It got her 1.4K views, which is not that much, but it's only been out for 18 hours. And, when you cry wolf that many times with tea time and tea time and tea time, and people find out you're just doing your laundry, people burn out. I mean, so, all new Dollar Tree home decor, who cares? Walmart fall beauty box, who cares? So where do we go from here? There's going to be more tea spilling videos, I'm sure. The person who she, I guess, filed paperwork against hasn't made themselves particularly anonymous, so I don't know where that's gonna go. I don't know how much Cynthia finds out, what goes back and I don't know. Some people will litigate very small things to the bitter end out of spite. It could be financially not feasible. They could spend $3,000 on a lawyer for spite, you know, for things like this. So if that's what either party chooses to do, they can do. The messier it gets, the better viewing it is. But the messier it gets, you know, and like, I don't know, I hate to say, like, Cynthia doesn't have a life, she has nothing else to do, but other people might, you know, and let's clog up, you know, the court systems, and let's clog up, we're not going to clog up jails. I think they're less likely to incarcerate people for misdemeanor charges during COVID, too. So, just things to think about. I think she's run out of canned videos, I hope. Things that she's filmed 1,000 years ago and that she's showing again, but I doubt it. I bet there's more HelloFresh boxes from back in 2018 or something like that. So we'll see where they go. Fuck if I know. Fuck if I know. Again, I'm keeping an eye, half an eye, on her behavior and her thinking and what's going on with her. She is a paranoid type person. You can 2 minutes of this and you can see that. 2 minutes of any video and you can see that. So I toe the line still between, do I feel like I'm watching, you know, egocentric, you know, self-centered narcissist, and I'm just taking shots at them because they're too self-centered to realize that they're hurting people and being obnoxious? That feels okay to me. Am I poking fun at a person with a mental health problem who's struggling to get through life? No, because she doesn't think she is. She doesn't think there's anything wrong with her. But if I identify that it feels a little like cheap shots, then I feel a little conflicted. We'll see. At the moment, I don't. At the moment, I don't at all. So, we'll see as time goes on. But I'm here for it. I'm here for it. And, you know, it's a dark and stormy night here. So, things can get interesting. So thank you all for watching. Please do subscribe. Hit the like button and the bell on your way out so you get the alerts. You can follow Mark and I on Facebook at SmokeySteveAndMarc, or on Instagram at SmokeySteveAndMarc, or on Twitter. Our handle's at SmokeySteveA. Our email address and our contact information is all listed down below as well. Thank you again, and we will catch up with you tomorrow. Thanks for watching. Bye.